Well, let's see me in some of the other videos. You know, I'm Steve Christian. I designed the Tablejacks from my hatred of the wobbly tables in my restaurant. And now in y'all's restaurants, you're able to have a system that can actually work and be a maintenance, a helpful tip to you. This whole restaurant here, we've had to drill out almost every table in this whole restaurant, put these things on. It's going to take us 4 hours to finish this restaurant on the maintenance. And let me show you what. It's not about the Tablejacks, it's about getting this old system off. So when you go buy these new tables and you have these glides that come with the tables, I don't have to tell y'all what happens to them threads in there. The dirt, the grit, the Coke syrup, all that stuff gets in there, the mop water, the threads, and it galls it up. You cannot turn these. You can't do nothing. You come in here with your, all you're doing is turning this plastic on top of that screw. It's not doing anything. So what you have to do now in maintenance, so this is a maintenance problem that could save thousands of dollars in maintenance to some of your big restaurants and a headache to your cook. You got to actually come in there and pop that off to get to that screw. Now look at that screw. It's round. How is that ever going to grab onto this plastic when it do it? If that was a square head, you'd have a better chance. But you don't. So then you got to get in there. Your mop threads here, as you see, is all wrapped around it. That's what's galled it up down into your threads as it's screwed up. And eventually it quits working, it quits screwing. So the things that come on the table is as much problem as anything else. So anyhow, we pop these off. I'm going to try to do this table real quick for you on a short video to show you. We have to pop all of these off to get down to the screw. Now, sometimes we'll use a cutting oil or a WD-40 or something to try to loosen the threads up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Because I'm going to show you what happens. Look at all this thread that I'm getting out of there. It's all just caked up. That's what's galling your things up. So when you buy new tables and you think, oh, I got new tables, I don't need a system yet, this is what you're asking for right here. You're asking for a maintenance nightmare here in a short period of time. See how I got to try to dig that plastic up to get underneath there. But if we take, now watch it. Now if this thing will come off, because you got to remember these old screws that they use in there, see what normally happens? They twist off and they break. Now that has to be drilled out, and I'm going to show you how to drill it out. Let me try to get these others off. You try to get them off with care. Okay, see, this one came out good. I can unscrew. That's one I don't have to drill out. That's the good thing on the maintenance. But see, you can never done it with that plastic on it because it's a rounded head. Let's hope that we only have one drill out on this table. But take it, go back and forth real easy till you look. Okay, good. We're loosening the threads up on this one. Most of these tables in here that took us so long is we had at least 1 to 2, 3 drill outs on every table we did in here, and there's 54 tables. But look at all that stuff right there. That's all the mop waters and stuff, mop threads and stuff that's gotten in there. That's why these things don't work. So again, when you restaurants sit out here and say, oh, well, I don't need them right now, I've got brand new tables, this is what you're getting. And now for a maintenance, see, wiggle it back and forth, try to loosen them threads up. Ah, good. Okay, I got a good one here, so I don't have to drill out, so I can show you how to install the Tablejack real quick and what you got to do. So now I'm going to have to show you how to drill that one out that broke. These little screws here, they got 2 or 3 cars in them. These are reconditioned screws. It's melted down and made out. All of the Tablejack products are first generation products. Okay, so now real quick, I'm going to use a little bit of drilling oil. You got to get your drill. You got to re-drill this out. Don't try to drill the screw out. Just go into the cast iron. The cast iron is this soft. And get a good bite on it. Again, so you don't get that drill stuff all over the place. You can hang a bucket right there. Everything drops off in there. Look at that. That's what we've had to do just to drill that one out. Now we got the hole. More cutting oil in there, makes your tap go down better. Okay, now it's 1/4 threads that you use on there. This is a tap, simple taps. You could go in there and rethread your holes. And it's easy to do. You just don't want to twist. You want to go back and forth, as you may know, cutting that thread back into there so that you can use this. So work it, work it. Work it. I'm recutting a thread in there. So just think about, after a couple of years, when you could put a system on this table, after a couple of years, what is this, the maintenance going to cost to have to turn all your tables over to fix the #1 complaint in restaurants is in wobbly tables? Okay, well, we're going to use the wobble wedges. Well, think of the cost of the wobble wedges of your employees having to go find a wobble wedge. Now you see the new hole in there? Now we can start installing the system in here. But think about the cost of the wobble wedges and the employee having to go find the wobble wedges and then bend over and touch the second dirtiest thing in the restaurant. As I told Shark Tank, Barbara on Shark Tank, when she said, well, that's what made me get my first $1,000, I told her, I said, well, did you ever figure out how that long blonde hair got on the plate when there was nobody in the kitchen that had long blonde hair? It's touching the second dirtiest thing in the restaurant and transferring it to the plate of food. Now watch, that same hole that I've just re-drilled, we'll take and put one of these systems. Now look at that. As you see, we completely cover the threads up. Nothing could get in there. When I screw that down, these threads are protected. If you ever had to do anything on these tables, they would do it. Okay, so let's see. The cost of changing out these bases at approximately $20. If you got a better deal, maybe, but it's approximately $20 per table. Then you got to have somebody come take this screw out, replace this thread, all this stuff. The maintenance is way more than what it is just to install a system that works. Because after I get to install this, I'm going to show you something. Now, I've had one restaurant just call me, said, hey, we've been using them for 2 years up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We've been using them for 2 years, and we've had some slippage on a couple of them. Well, we warranty the Tablejack for 1 year manufacturer warranty on them. And I told the guy, I said, dude, 2 years, you've had a good system working when there's nothing on the market that'll last that long, and we all know that. 2 years, all you have to do is just buy another one of these for a small cost and just replace this alone. You don't have to replace this whole system. And with this having the good threads in there, put your washer in. This is a flush mount. So you just put the washer in and use your shortest screw. Take and turn over. The easy part is putting the Tablejack system in. The hardest part is getting that other stuff out, that you got to actually break the stuff off and the screws breaking out and drill out. And luckily I only have one on this table, so I could get this system installed real quickly. And there's the Tablejack system. Now, again, after a while, this thing bites at any elevation you want it to go. And if this thing starts slipping after a period of time, if I could make these things last forever, I will. But I cannot find a material that will last forever. That's hard enough to last forever, and they'll bite that. So it's just a general maintenance. You could buy, a couple of these, keep in your manager's drawer. After the 1 year manufacturer warranty, you can. I'll warranty them up to 1 year. And just replace this now, just a simple screwdriver, boom, boom, to have your maintenance guy. There's nothing that he has to know other than having to work this Phillips screwdriver to put this device back on. And now you're up and running. And now watch this table right here, again, to show you how it works. The table was to wobble like this here with a simple foot action. Watch my foot, hold the table, drop down, and it stabilizes your table. It's that quick and easy. If the table wobbles back and forth this direction, lift up. Do not lift the table. Lift up, press down on that lever. As you see that lever down there moving down as my foot press, and it stabilizes it going either way you want it to go. That's how simple this device works. And for a device that has a 1 year manufacturer warranty on it, I made it. Let me show you something. Your bus board gets a little rough with it? That's all right. Well, look how the juice I'm just putting that thing through right there. So if they lock it on, if they catch it on a door or something, it's not a problem. Again, for brand new tables, or even if you want to fix it so you don't have to do it in the future before they get as bad as these tables are in here, and you do have to do extra maintenance, you can simply put the Tablejack system on now for a lot less cost than what that labor is going to cost you later on to have to drill these things out and stuff like this that we did on these tables.